Here we go. So, hi, I'm Caz Parker for MMH Radio, and I'm joined today by Ryan from Ryder's Creed. Hi. Welcome.
Hi, how are we doing?
Very good, thank you. So, we are here to talk about the something very exciting, the release of your new album, Lost Souls.
Yes.
So thanks for catching up with me. This is a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, just a bit, yeah. I've never done anything quite like this before, so we'll see how it goes.
No, I know, absolutely. Well, I've done one before, so I've got no excuses. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll just do our best. Do our best. People like outtakes. We'll just leave them in.
That's it. We'll keep all the bloopers in here.
Let's just do it. Let's just do it. If I fall off my chair, we'll keep it. So, okay, what I wanted to do before we get deep down into talking about Lost Souls, which obviously is what we're here to do, but I thought it'd be nice to just talk about a few other things. So, first up, how's lockdown treating you?
Yeah, not too bad, to be fair. Every now and again, I get some work come through, and I'm able to actually go and do maybe a hall stairs and landing, or a bedroom, or maybe even a full house that's completely unoccupied, so there's no need for the social distancing because nobody's there anyway. But you know, it's few and far between. So apart from that, I'm just kind of enjoying the beautiful weather that we've been having, listening to a lot of music, probably drinking a bit more than I should.
Do you know what? I think that's the thing, isn't it? And I'm trying to stay sane and not turn into an alcoholic because it's too easy to go, oh, well, what day is it again? Monday? Are there any rules I can't have a gin and tonic? I don't think so.
That's it. I've got to just bring the fridge up from the garage now and just put it next to the bed and just get literally bottles of beer and bottles of Guinness and stuff, like cans of Guinness and stuff in the fridge.
Recycling is insane, isn't it? It's just ridiculous. They must be like, oh, for fuck's sake, people, just calm down. We can't cope.
yeah, it's madness, absolute madness. How's lockdown and isolation treating you, Caz?
Oh, same sort of thing, really. I'm furloughed from a real job, so I'm just chilling and enjoying myself and doing a bit of this, a bit of that, trying to sort the house out and doing things like this for a bit of variety as well. So, yeah.
Well, if you need any rooms painting, just give me a call. You know where I am.
And we did the whole house painting, so I will be talking about this interview. All right, so it's not about me. So obviously you've been working really hard on getting this new release ready. I know a few of the singles have already been put out in the past, but yeah, I mean, apart from drinking alcohol and doing some jobs where you can, is there anything you've been doing during lockdown that you've never done before?
Not anything that I've never done before, but something that I'm finding a lot more time to do now is properly check out and really listen to the albums and the music of some of the bands that are in the same scene as Ryder's Creed. So I've been going through. I listened to the Rocket Dolls' new album, new release, the other day, and start to finish, it's absolutely brilliant. You know, I've been listening to Revival Black.
Noted.
You know, I'm really looking forward to hearing a lot more stuff from These Wicked Rivers coming up soon as well. Genuinely, just loads and loads of bands. But one of the bands that I've been listening to recently, and it's become a little bit of an obsession, I've got to admit, and I really didn't expect to like it as much as I do, is a band called Nothing But Thieves. I'm literally listening to their songs over and over again at the moment, and I can't get enough of it.
That's amazing. Do you know what? I love that. I love getting recommendations, and I think you're right. I've been doing a lot of the same, listening to full albums, because I'm a devil for having random shuffle on my iPod, and I've got playlists, which then means I end up hearing, you know, I'll shove something on a playlist, and then I'm hearing the same stuff. So I've been opening it up, but I've also been playing full albums and surprising myself really, because I'd forgotten some of the stuff, some of the hidden tracks that I've probably not, you know, paid much attention to. So, but noted about those, because I know there's a lot of other, you know, there's a lot of bands releasing new stuff at the moment. So you're right. I think These Wicked Rivers have got a new album coming out, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. Yeah, we were really looking forward to going on tour with them, because we were. I mean, obviously it was the Ryder's Creed tour, but on the Derby show at the Hairy Dog, it was going to flip it around. So These Wicked Rivers were going to headline, and they were going to use that as their album launch show, and we were really, really looking forward to picking up a copy of their album, and I'm really looking forward to actually hearing it based on some of the snippets and some of the clips that they've released so far. It sounds absolutely insane.
Oh, okay, good. Well, that's another one for me to pick up, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Cool. So the weird thing is, I don't think I've ever conducted interviews without talking about tours and shows and what's going on. Obviously, you would have been out on the road like pretty much now and throughout May and June, pretty much covering the whole of the UK. So, I mean, it is an absolute travesty what's happened to the music industry as a result of COVID, and we could probably bitch about it all day long. I mean, when that's something you love to do and it's taken away from you, it's hard, and we're all feeling it. Bands and fans are both feeling it. So, I mean, have you any idea when you are going to reschedule the tour for?
So, you're right. You're totally right. It is awful. I mean, speaking from previous, personal experience, and I know that the lads in my band, for example, they feel the same way. And through knowing and meeting a lot of bands in the industry, it's very, very clear that they all feel the same way as well. The in-between moments between gigging, because of the euphoria that you get when you're on stage, and the sheer sort of elevated emotion that you get when you're in a gig surrounding, and you're the focal point for that 45 or an hour that you're on stage for example, is incredible. And then to go back to the normal 9 to 5 or the normal shift pattern job, that's the in-between moments. But right now we haven't got work or gigging, so the in-between moments are literally all the time at the moment. So it becomes something that's really, really difficult for creative people like yourself and me and people like us and whatnot to deal with, because there tends to be no in between. You're either right up here or right down there, sort of thing. So yeah, it is quite difficult, sort of thing. But yeah, we should have been on tour, right up. But we're planning on getting back in 2021. I think just leave 2020, keep some of the commitments that we've got. With gigs running up to the end of the year and stuff that weren't a part of our tour, that we just kind of included in the dates, and then reschedule the entire tour and whack some more dates in there and go a bit further afield and for a bit longer and whatnot in 2021 when all this has died down and isolation's hopefully over.
Got to be at some point, doesn't it? It has to be. So yeah, oh no, God, the back end of the year in 2021 could be the best years ever. Who knows? Let's hope everybody survives, and that's the big thing, isn't it? The venues and the bands, and let's just hope everybody can get through this. So, all right, cool. Just a random thrown-in question then. Just to bring back the memories, do you have a favourite gig of all time that you've done?
Oh, wow. Yes, I do. I'm just trying to pick between... because there was a few. 2019 was a bit of a shit year overall, but for gigs and for the band, for Ryder's Creed, 2019 was exceptional. We did Winter's End, which was phenomenal. We did Ramblin' Man Fair, which was also incredible. But I think that out of the Planet Rock festivals that we played, and out of the bigger festivals that we played in 2019, Steelhouse Festival all the way.
Oh, wow.
It was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. I've never played in front of that many people in an open air festival scenario, and I've never been treated as well as an artist as they did backstage at that gig. Every bit about it was made, it made us as a band feel like we were total royalty. And I think that the whole experience of Steelhouse for me is one that's going to stick in my head for a very, very long time.
Oh, that's really nice to hear. Do you know what? I haven't been to Steelhouse since 2015 just because of clashes.
Wow.
And stuff. I know, and also there's been some hideous weather too. So sometimes I've been at Ramblin' Man watching the weather at Steelhouse going, I think I made the right choice. But Anyway, I know that's the problem though. They used to clash, and you can't be everywhere at once, can you? So, but
no, you're right.
it's a really unusual festival as well, being up a mountain. Yeah, really nice, really nice size as well. Anyway, great, thank you for that. So, okay, the purposes of us being here. So we are here. We are here today because your new album, which is your second album, is released on Friday. Which, when this goes out, could be today.
Today.
Friday. So the people who are watching today, get your copy now. There will be many shameless plugs throughout this. It is available on all streaming platforms and on their website. I've seen that a few people have managed to get it early actually via the website, so good for them, which helped me with some reviews actually. So there we go.
Yes.
But yeah, just to kind of summarise, I suppose, you released Lost Soul in February, Cut Me Down in April, and Money is the new release. Was that this week or last week?
Yeah, May the 1st. It was, I mean, if this goes out on Friday, the day that the album drops, then Money was exactly a week ago. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. So, okay, you've had radio airplay, you've had some great reviews, and I saw that Money's nominated for Track of the Week in Classic Rock Magazine this week. So again, this is another shameless plug. Vote now, people. Vote now.
Yeah, get voting, please, because when Lost Soul was nominated for Classic Rock's Track of the Week, we were up against other bands where their entire fan base decided that it was a good idea to vote for them as well. So we didn't stand a chance.
Ow.
And this time, you know, and then we watched These Wicked Rivers go and win top slot, and we were thinking, blimey, you know. So now that Money is in there with the Classic Rock Tracks of the Week, hopefully we can at least stay in the top 3, but bagging the top spot would be great.
Let's make it happen. You've got to shamelessly just push it out on your social media and get everybody voting, because they will make it easy for them. So yeah. All right. So we had a little chat before we started recording, but let's talk about the vibe of the album as a whole before we delve into some of the tracks in a little bit more depth. So I made some notes about my sort of feelings of it. So forgive me if I'm reading off here a little bit, because I don't want to miss anything. But I think it's definitely more mature than your first album. Really noticeably much more mature. So I mean, it's 2 years on since the first one was released. 2 years older, 2 years wiser, evidently, from the vibes I'm picking up. And words I would use to describe it would be, I got some words. I'd say intense, deep, dark in places, very melodic, very well crafted. We talked about the layering of the songs, and it's really, honestly, anybody that's listening, put your headphones on, put your noise cancelling headphones on, and close your eyes, because you need to hear the layering of these songs. And also, it's got some groovy bits and some heavy bits. So diverse and something for everybody. But that's just my take. And I would say probably personal favourites are Lost Soul, Believer, and Memories.
Yes, brilliant. Well, there you go. To be fair, if I mean, with what you just said describing Lost Soul, you could do us an absolutely banging review yourself, Caz. Honestly, that would be great.
Well, funnily enough, Tina C, who is also working at MMH with me, she's already done your review, which I've taken some snippets of her review to include in here as well. So when we put this out, there'll be an article page on MMH that will cover that too. So I'll get that over to you. So yeah.
Superb. Yeah, sounds great. Sounds fantastic. It's funny you should mention Believer, actually, because out of all the people that pre-ordered from our campaign whilst that was open, when they received their digital download copy of the album, Believer is actually one of the songs that keeps cropping up as people's personal favourites, and the fact that they can get lost in it, and there was a lot of people that mentioned how they tapped into the emotion of it straight away, and you know, it's a song that, even though it's just over 6 minutes long, doesn't feel like it when you're listening to it. So that's really, really good feedback to have from the album. Honestly, people are saying some really incredible things. Yeah,
well, I only got a copy of it this morning, so I've been immersing myself in it pretty much all day and really getting used to all the tracks. So but yeah, they were standout for me, but the whole album's brilliant. I did have a little peek on your Facebook, because I knew some people had already got a copy, and I stole an awesome quote from a fan, which I thought pretty much summed it up. So a guy Al Beeston, who I think you know, he said...
Legend. Absolute legend.
I'm glad I picked him then. But he said, this is a phenomenal album and it's filled with some of the very best tracks I've heard in a long time. Of course, the guys know how to rock your socks off, but there are a few surprises as well that blew my mind. And he thinks this is going to be his album of the year. So that's high praise indeed.
Thank you, Al. Thank you very much.
Really have put it better, so I thought I'll steal that. That sounds great. So, go on then. Is there any other reasons that you think that we haven't already covered that people should get out and buy the album now? It's available now.
Yes, there are many. So obviously it's been 2 years since Ryder's Creed have released any new material. The first album, we were a 5-piece. We had Lee in the band as well. This album was one that all of us said to ourselves, we don't want to rush it. We want to take our time with it. We really want to get it done. And then Lee leaves the band for his own personal reasons, completely respectable reasons. Amicable departure from the band. All is good. He's still a good friend of ours and one of our brothers and everything. So there's no animosity there. But it did give us a hell of a lot less time. So we had only what was supposed to be 2 years to write an album. We only had about a couple of months. So to receive the rave reviews that we're getting for the album now, to be on the receiving end of such positivity and such incredible comments and stuff from such a short amount of time, and a massive rush and huge stress levels of just throwing our heart and souls into these tracks. Please go and make your own opinions of the music. Go out, don't take anybody else's opinion for gospel.
You can
go and buy it. Yes, you can definitely take Caz's opinion as gospel, because she thinks it's awesome as well. So, but go and make your own opinion. Go and listen to it loud, like you said, Caz. Go and listen to it with noise cancelling headphones on, or through a loudspeaker system, or just go for a drive if you don't get caught by the cops, and have a listen.
Shopping bag.
Yeah, that's it. But honestly, because we want to hear your opinions, because how you feel about our music is the most important thing for us.
Cool. Well, look, I mean, there was nothing wrong with the first album. It's a great album. But I just think it's always nice when you see progression, and even I use the word mature, but you see that with a lot of bands. The first album is probably more commercial because everybody then gets into it, everyone gets into the band, and I think this one, it just feels a little bit more serious, which I don't think is a bad thing. So I mean that in a very complimentary way. It's still groovy, it's still got some fun elements to it, but it's just got a sort of slightly harder edge. So hang on, it's all right, my cat has diabetes, so that's the alarm that goes off to tell me to give it a needle. Outtakes. Cancel that. She'll be all right for half an hour though. We'll be fine.
Good. As long as you're sure that your cat will be all right.
Oh, we're doing the interview. I have to give her insulin. It's so cute. All right, so let's get into some of the albums then in a bit more depth and what they mean to you. So I know you said to me you wanted to hear my thoughts first and then you talk us through. So I've kind of planned it that way, if that's all right with you.
Okay, no problem.
We're going to start with Lost Soul because it was the first one you released and it's almost the title of the album, Lost Soul, Lost Souls. It is one of my personal favourites, as I mentioned, and I would describe the track as deep and intense with beautiful guitar work. Again, it's one of those that really stood out to me when I properly had a chance to just absorb myself in it and notice all of the layering and everything. So I've stolen a bit of Tina's review because she's done that for us and that will go out with this. She says, I love the solid opening riff of Lost Soul. For some reason, I'm drifting off to an Incubus type vibe here. And she says, lovely. So tell us about it from your point of view then.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much for the awesome comments from yourself and Tina. So Lost Soul for us And for me, when I was writing the lyrics to it and stuff, it's a weird one, really. So, there are people out there that lie, and there are people out there that go beyond that, and they become compulsive liars and just really, really horribly dishonest people. And how I wrote this song and how I wanted to intend on writing this song was I wanted to put myself in the footsteps on a first person point of view on how a compulsive liar would be thinking if they were going through some sort of kind of remorse type feelings and whatnot, and really sort of put it to the forefront of us being empathetic towards people who are just ruining themselves by lying and digging themselves down into this rabbit hole. But what, that's quite a complex thing to write a song about. But I mean, it was
deep, didn't I?
Yeah. Yeah. So the music, I mean, I write based on how the music makes me feel. So I let the lads get on with it, and then I just kind of go with my flow once I've got the track. But with Lost Soul was one of the songs where I was driving in my car listening to the demo that Miles had sent across, and I had to pull into a lay-by. I had to pull off the motorway and then pull into a lay-by because I got some inspiration that I had to get down there and then, and that was the first verse. And from the first verse, leading through the song, it very much kind of became something that I kind of poured my heart out into, but in a way that I was putting myself into somebody else's shoes. There's a fair few people that I know that have been real arseholes, over the years, based on lying and cheating, and it gets to that point where you kind of don't even know who they are anymore.
Right.
And I wanted to put myself in the footsteps of one of those people and write a song in the first person tense, and that's basically where that came from. But a lot of people have taken it in a lot of different ways. So it's the most important thing about songwriting is what it means to the person listening, really. So, yeah.
Okay. Do you know what? That's really interesting. I'm really glad I asked that question, actually, because you're right. People take it in different ways, don't they? So it's really good to know where it comes from and where it comes from in your heart. So we're going to play it out now for the listeners. So we'll give them a little break.
Yeah.
It'll be like magic because we'll be back before we know it. So
yeah, don't go anywhere.
see, so I keep breaking surprised that I'm all alone here, with all the lies that I'm breathing out, I'm breathing in. Is there redemption for my lost soul, or am I destined to brave the cold, embrace the cold?
We're back. Did you enjoy that, listeners, viewers? I hope you did. Right, so the next track we're going to talk about is Cut Me Down, which you released in April. Again, second release from the album. So, and like I say, Tina C from MMH has done a review for you, and I really liked how she put it. So I'm going to start with her thoughts, which are that it goes straight into the catchy guitar riff of Cut Me Down, which wouldn't be out of place on any of the big boys' post-grunge albums. I like that. Again, you know,
That's smashing.
Yeah, definitely, and I would agree with that. So my thoughts are it's a good solid track, and I think it's really groovy as well. So again, tell us the story. See, again, this one sounds like a breakup song to me, so I might be wrong. So I'd really like to hear it from your point of view. I listened and I kept thinking, sure, it's a breakup song. So anyway.
No, brilliant. Yeah, thanks very much for the kind comments again. Really, really awesome. Post grungy as well. That's something that we've had a couple of times that we weren't going for, but that we have heard. And since listening to the album a couple of times since those reviews have come out and since people have mentioned it, I can sort of hear it as well. So it's kind of good. But yeah, Cut Me Down. Funny story about Cut Me Down, actually. Me, Miles, and Richard, and then Grace and Lily. We were in Cornwall, and we'd gone away for like a long weekend down in I think it was Newquay, Newquay or Cornwall, down south anyway, by the coast. And we got absolutely smashed one night, and Miles cracked out the Mac and his guitar and whatnot and started putting on this demo and created this riff and whatnot, and we were getting really, really into it. Like we were wasted. We've been drinking Guinness for hours, but we got really into it, and we were thinking, yeah, this is amazing, yeah, and all this. And I kind of went in and just kind of recorded something. And when I came out and we listened to it, Miles turned around and said, "Oh, that chorus has got a bit of a Madonna kind of feel to it." I didn't really know what he meant, but I wrote the song initially about the world and about how the music video basically makes it seem. The fact that, you know, we have one planet, that's it. When it's gone, when the human race has totally ballsed it up, that's it. There's no afterlife when this place is gone. I'm not trying to be preachy or anything with it, but at the same time, as much as, you know, staying as far away from political content as we possibly can, we are still trying to kind of say, yo, we're not like activists or anything, but this is pretty serious now. We're screwing this place up and we need to stop. You know, there's a hell of a lot of beauty in this world that we're single-handedly screwing up. It's no other species, it's the human race. We're ballsing it up, and we need to look into what we're doing, how we're living, and make sure that this place is somewhere where our grandkids are going to be able to actually be born, because it's still here, you know. And then Richard walked in the room and he said, oh yeah, that kind of sounds a bit like, you know, you're telling people that it's the last straw, that, you know, there's only so much that you can take of their bullshit before you go, no, I'm done with it, I'm putting you out of my life. And then, so there's kind of two meanings to that, because I could see that, and that influenced how I then wrote the chorus and the rest of the verses. So, but it's interesting you should say it's about a breakup, because that's how you feel about it, which means that's now what it means as well.
Yeah. Do you know what I was going to say? I was slightly sniggering to myself, because as you were talking about this really deep stuff, I was thinking, not a breakup song, then. Got it wrong. But it's sort of, I think it is the chorus that tipped me that way, which I guess it was just though. I think it was just that made me think of a breakup. But you're right though, because if there's stuff you're passionate about, why wouldn't you put it into your music? And you're absolutely right. I mean, I personally think COVID-19, murder hornets, Mother Nature's fighting back. You know, you look at what's happened already by us not driving and not being at work and stuff, and the pollution. Exactly. I mean, the difference you can make by doing something like this is instant, and it's working already. So
100%. I mean, for the first time. Sorry to cut you off. Carry on. For the first time, I was going to say, for the first time in a very, very long time, I took a look at the sky today, and there wasn't a single chemtrail, there wasn't a single cloud. It was just completely crystal clear blue sky from one side of the horizon right the way to the other. And, you know, I haven't seen that in a very, very long time, and it feels good, but it's also quite reassuring to know that once the human race takes a bit of a step back and just kind of stops with the factories and stops with the work and stops with the traveling and stops or significantly reduces the amount of like agricultural farming and stuff like that, the world starts thriving again, you know. So
already it's as simple as that. It's healing already.
Exactly.
It's scary but true.
Yeah, it is, and the people at the top should really, really start bloody taking notice now.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem, isn't it? Because we've never been able to do this on our own. You know, you can try recycling and you can try and do everything that you can, but it takes bigger people than us to make a bigger change. So anyway, good.
Exactly.
But yeah, and good timing in terms of the release as well, because this was all just hitting around April, wasn't it? So.
Yeah, just getting started. Yeah, it was.
Oh, cool. I think you could probably make more of that. I think you could probably push that a little bit more, that theme. Interesting. I do. Okay, so we're going to play the track now. So again, magic of video. Here it comes. Woo.
I
Yeah, we should have some special effects. I should have thought that. Okay, cool. So now let's talk money. Let's talk money. The track.
Let's talk money.
Not the thing, the track, but one will lead to the other.
Yeah.
So obviously that one has just been released, up and nominated for Classic Rock's Track of the Week. If everybody would vote now, that would be great. Thank you very much.
Please.
So I think, as I say, my opinions first, but I think it's hard rocking, gritty, dirty, riffy, and heavy. So that's just my little take of it.
Yeah, 100%.
Tina's done her review, obviously, so I'm going to steal from that too, which, again, shameless plug, you will find on the MMH website, and that will also send you a link to this video as well if you need to rewatch it later. But I think she puts it marvellously because she's, I think she's taken some of your words, actually, in here. She says, closing the album with a real rocker, the latest single, Money, Ryan tells us that plutomania is an unhealthy obsession with wealth or money. It turns the best of us into monsters, and the worst of us into, well, everybody wants it, and when they've got it, they want more of it. We spend our entire lives working for it. Some people are born with it, some people achieve it, and some have money thrust upon them. This is a song about money in a way that emphasises the obsession for the human race, the obsession the human race has for it. We kill for it, we die for it, we fuck for it, which I believe are all your words.
Yep.
Talk to us about this track then. What inspired you?
So I wanted to do something a bit different. It's quite a fair bit heavier than anything that we've done before. I mean, the whole album is really, but this track is, it is filthier and grittier and harder than things that we've done before. And for this one, because it's quite fast paced and there's a lot going on, I didn't want to sort of overload it with lyrical content, and I didn't want to try to take people with a different dynamic and a different melody away from the hard music that's actually happening. This is a track where, especially the riff, sort of halfway into the breakdown towards the end, that kind of stoner drop in that breakdown. It's something that just needs to be enjoyed instrumentally, musically, so anything that I could do to kind of reinforce the heaviness and the grittiness of this track is what I tried to do. It's something a bit different. I haven't done anything like it before. I suppose no, I haven't done anything like it before, and so it was one of those. But the content of Money is something where instantly everybody can jump straight in, whether we're on different pages of or different sort of rungs on the wealth ladder or whatever, everybody can jump straight in and have a total and full understanding of Plutomania without even knowing that it's called Plutomania or what it is, you know what I mean? So in a way it was just, I wanted to include a weird word into a song and sort of build a song around it, really, and I think it worked pretty well. I mean, I love it. It's one of my favorite tracks on the album. No, it's good. And again, that we talked about it being a very diverse album, and it does that because it is different to the other tracks. You're right, it stands out because it's different, and I think it's a nice closer. I think it is harder, but it leaves people going, whoa, what just happened? Which is great. That's how you want it to be, and you want them to go, I'm going to start that again and just play it all through again. So yeah, hopefully.
Cool.
Brilliant. So, thank you very much.
We're going to play Money now, aren't we? So again, let's do the magic of off we go.
When I open my eyes every morning, no one
And we're back.
And I can do this.
So hopefully, you've got to leave all that in.
I'll keep it in.
So hopefully everybody enjoyed that. Did you want to? Was there another mystery song you were going to chuck at me, or were you?
Well, you've got the whole album, haven't you? You've got the songs, and we can play whatever we want, right?
Yeah.
And how does MMH feel about songs with swear words in them?
I think we're all right with that because
this is a video, and we've sworn a few times, and I don't have the technology to bleep those out. So
it's fine because it'll be online. It's not so it's fine. You can have a sweary one. Which one are you gonna? Which one's the sweary one?
Right. Okay. So there's a sweary one, and it's called "Hand in Hand with the Devil."
Oh yes, I like that.
And it's bluesy and groovy and heavy and very sort of hard hitting, kind of balls to the wall. And I think considering we've just had Money, I'm thinking try and keep the energy levels up a little bit and end on a high, instead of maybe dropping it back down.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the album takes you on an emotional roller coaster anyway. So for everybody watching, go and download it, go and buy it. Order physical copies from our website. Do everything that you've got to do to get your hands on that album. Listen to it loud. Listen to it again, even louder, and then just tell us what you think. So yeah, I think Hand in Hand with the Devil is definitely one that we should end on today.
That is a great choice, and I'm going to read from Tina's review, which says, "Hand in Hand with the Devil grooves deep into your brain, and I'm dancing some kind of stompy dance with arms wide, crouching and twirling around, and then raising my arms to the sky. I think I'm tripping. Very cool song." So yeah, she thought she was tripping when she was writing that review. But no, actually I do love that one, and I just wrote one word next to it, and I just put groovy. So I'm glad you said.
Brilliant, fantastic. Thank you very much.
But no, that's a really good choice. So well done on that. So we're going to play that now.
Yes.
Free from
the magic.
Yes.
All right. So, all right. We're going to sort of wrap up a little bit now, but what I wanted to do was, because we've talked about the album, we've talked about specific songs, and I just wanted to wrap up by kind of, again, a couple of final thoughts on the album, really. From Tina's review, again, because it is done for us at MMH, it's nice to use the bits and bobs from that. So what she has said, her final thoughts, because I've done mine earlier on, bouncing around under the new wave of the classic rock banner. Oh God, I didn't even do that very well, did I? Bouncing around under the new wave of classic rock banner, adding Pearl Jamisms and some trippy guitar-driven hard rock delivered with a raw, edgy feel. This new release is an important record in their career, and I've had the chance to play this one after I've had the chance to play this one to death all summer. I'll be very, very interested to hear where they go next. I didn't really read that very well, but you got the gist.
Yeah, I got the general gist. That's really nice comment.
Website. so, any final thoughts from you about the album?
Just the fact that we're very, very proud of it. You know, we'd absolutely love it if people would go get it and listen to it. Everybody that's come forward so far has said that they absolutely love it, and they've already got standout tracks, and some people haven't been able to stop listening to it. It's been like on repeat again and again and again, which is a huge, huge compliment. But yeah, we're proud of this one, and we think that we found our sound properly with this one. Whereas the first album was like a balls to the wall compilation of things and genres and subgenres of rock that we can do. Whereas this one, I think, is an album where we're showcasing what we will do. So, and this is what we now do. So, yeah, if you want to have the Ryder's Creed experience and what the next few years are going to bring, you know, with us, especially live on stage as well, we've got some insane plans for our live stage shows. So people need to definitely come and see, even if it's just one show when we get back on, come and see it. But yeah, this is Ryder's Creed, this album, and we love it, and we're just really, really happy that everybody else is as well.
Amazing. Well, listen, if anybody hasn't seen you live, they definitely need to, because it's all well and good listening to an album, but you are a superb live act to watch. And you know what? I think I saw you before I heard any of your material, and personally, if a band impresses you live, then that's all you need to go and get the album and all of that stuff. So thank you so much. It's been absolutely awesome catching up with you. And thanks for watching, everybody out there. I'm Caz Parker from MMH Radio with Ryan from Ryder's Creed. Hope you've enjoyed this as much as I have, because it's been great. And obviously, one last plug, don't forget to go buy the album now.
Go buy the album. Go do it. Do it now.